Three, two, one, and we're live. Are we live? Hello? 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 Are we live? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela, and I have got questions for you. What opens with us picking up with the same old argument from the end of the last episode? And what closes with us getting a revelation, maybe, about something we've been hearing about on these streets for months. If you guessed the Real Housewives of Potomac, season 3, episode 7, Blue Skies and Blue Eyes, you're correct. Thank you so much for clicking on the video and sticking around to see how we get from opening to closing. I'm Angela, and the channel is Be Fabulous You. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and all of those wonderful things that you do. Yay! Welcome to the chat. We're working on 1,000 subscribers, so go ahead and hit that subscribe. Oh, you already subscribed, right? 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 Let us proceed. Okay, so, hey, what's up? Conscious of genocide. Okay, so we're picking up with the argument with Candace and Giselle. Candace and Giselle, where Giselle was like, you need to apologize to Shasha because you said that she was having a shady biatch moment and, all of that. Okay, so then Ash is like, then, okay, so that goes off. And then we move on to the ladies getting situated where they're going to be staying. We see that Ash has a single bed, a balcony. The ladies are getting, set up in their rooms. There's no real drama with that, which is nice. And the place looks like a nice enough place. I think they were happy about it. We didn't hear no complaints. We didn't hear no complaints. We see Candace talking to her fiance. Oh, you don't watch TV. Okay. Yeah. And then me either. Miss Candace says, I don't need the approval of old thirsty butt biatches to be happy. And I'm like, well, that's good. Me either. She's talking about those women. Damn it, man. Darn it, man. I don't know who's yeah. So Ash finds some monogram luggage and it says SHI on it, SHA, doesn't it? Because I thought it was Shasha's luggage. And they couldn't figure out whose luggage it was. And so they were theorizing that it was Candace's mom's luggage. So I was like, oh my gosh, and they're kind of laughing at the child again. Giselle is like, she's like, me and Sherman talk every day. And I was kind of like, wow. And then she goes on to say that they talk every hour on the hour, which to me is way more intense than every day, every hour on the hour. Probably the reason you're not talking to him is because he need a break. Good Lord. Every hour on the hour? Girl, you ain't got nothing to do. I remember I used to work with this guy. He was engaged, and his fiance, can you speak English, please? Yo no comprendo. His fiance would call him like he worked in the after school program, and so he would get there in the afternoon at like 4, and his fiance would be calling at 4. She probably called him every hour on the hour, because I was like, dang, that is very intense. And I feel like even in, as married, you might communicate here or there. You might communicate here or there, and sometimes, you talking, frequently if it's about something, but just every hour on the hour. I'm like, she's pretty grown for that. That sounded like when I was in high school and I would pass notes to my best friend during class, it was like we couldn't go the whole class period without talking. But I mean, good Lord, the woman is grown. It was kind of intense to me. So the Green Eye Sisters are talking. Hey, welcome on the chat. Thanks for the like. The Green Eye Sisters are talking about Mo's car crash, which Robin did not know about. She thought it was like a rumor. And so I was kind of confused because they showed footage. Oh, hey, Yapo. They showed footage of Robin, or they showed footage of the women on the bus when they were discussing it. And I couldn't figure out if Robin was on the bus or not, but I don't think she was. And I was like, is she having a moment where like when she met Candy A, she was like, I don't know her. I've never met her. Who? When did we meet? I don't know you. I never met you. So I was kind of like confused, like, what's going on? But maybe she just genuinely wasn't on the bus. I thought this was going to be a theme. And then we see that the women are going to dinner. Oh, and we saw a picture of Ash with her granddad. It was cute. I didn't get a chance to like really, really look at it, but I don't know. I always like to see family pictures and stuff. And throwback pictures, and this is like the time when they were like, I would assume like more innocent and sweet, and just like kids and regular people. So anyway, I like to see the pictures of that. And then the women are at dinner, and Ash is distracted, like Karen is ordering dinner, and she's like, oh, Ash, I'm gonna have that dessert that you recommended. um And what's that dessert you recommended? The person is there to take their order. Now, what I do wish, and I don't appreciate on these shows, is I wish that they would be in Black-owned establishments, or we would see more Black people there. Especially like in Atlanta, where I feel like they probably have a lot of options. But I feel like for the Black shows, I know that the production companies probably don't care. Probably none of them care about it, but like even when on Married to Medicine, they did their DNA reveal, and they like, I'm 88% African, and they doing it at a white owned place. I just kind of felt like, but anyway. Um, so Ash is busy on her phone texting under the table, and Karen is like, what was that dessert you told me to get, girl? What was that dessert? And she is so absorbed in what's going on, and it's her mom texting, can you give me some money? I need $500. And I think the whole mom thing, even though I just wish her mother was a different kind of woman, I think it's just looking like, her mom is just, I don't think she probably needs to be giving her any money, but I just hate to even hear myself saying that. But I just hate that whole situation, you know? And the ladies ask, so what's up with your mom and your husband? And, Ash lets us know that her mom is moving out next week. I know less about it than you do, LOL. Her just if you listen, you could hear what's going on now. The ladies ask Ash, well, what's going on with you and your husband, and and your mom? And Ash is like, well, my mom is moving out next week, and Mike is her husband. Mike is not allowing, I don't know if they use that language exactly, but basically Mike is not allowing Ash to help financially. Giselle says she agrees with Mike. And meanwhile, speaking of moms, Candace's mom is texting Candace. Now, Candace's mom has the almost exact opposite situation. Candace's mom is taking care of Candace instead of Ashley taking care of her mom. I think, what did they say last week? That Ashley was giving her mom $4,500 a month. $4,500 a month, and her mother works. Now, I had kind of you we talked when we talked about it initially, we knew that her mother was working a full-time job, but that it was not enough money to support her and her boyfriend, who does not work, and her child. Like, she got three or four probably grown people, because I think the sister's 15, three or four grown people to support, and she probably making $2 an hour. But $4,500, now I don't know what it's like in that region of the country and where they're living, but I'm like, shoot, with $4,500, I so bad about the whole situation. So, her mom is needing $500, and you know, and my mother is like, well, Ashley's mom should talk to Candace. Maybe she'll get some hints. Yeah, I don't know. So then we see Ash talking about tomorrow's itinerary. They're going fly fishing. One group is going fly fishing, and then the other group is going, I guess it's skeet shooting. I don't know what they said, but they were shooting at something. So I don't know if it's skeet shooting or what. And Robin says that she's still mad about was it Robin? No, Karen says that she's still mad at the fact that her friends have all this stuff to say about her husband. She says she does not receive it. Giselle and Shasha both agree immediately to apologize to Uncle Ray, who, a lot of, people have a nickname for him. They call him Uncle Ben. And then Karen is like, I dragged Giselle in. Right, it was Karen who said that. I get Karen and Robin mixed up. I don't know if they both spell it Caryn, Robyn. I don't know if it's that, but anyway. Karen is like, I dragged Giselle into the corner and Robin followed her. And, you need to back up off of my man. And I don't know if Miss Karen is being serious or she's just being dramatic for the TV. I can never exactly read her because she's very dramatic. She might have a very dramatic personality. And I know they know when the show first started, people were talking about how boring it was. So I think they're trying to keep it like juicy. What would I do? Ooh, about what? About somebody talking about my husband. Let me quit messing with you before you jump through this screen and choke me. I've never really been around people who, drag her, but I've never really been around, like the way these women behave. I've never been around. If I've been around people who behave that way, I had no idea. So it's like fiction almost to me. I mean, I guess they're real people, but I feel like they're playing roles. So yeah. So I can't imagine anybody, I don't know. I'm like, that's not even realistic for real life to me. Is it? Does that happen to real people in the real world? So Karen is like, Robin, you are the ditziest biatch sitting at the table. And Robin is like, the ditzy is what? And Karen is like, biatch. And Candace is like, you commenting and withdrawing it before I can read it. And little Candace is like looking to the side and she's like, that's calling someone a biatch. What I did was just referring in a different way, sort of indirectly. And then Karen is like, she does a few iterations of an apology to Robin. She's like, I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry that I called you a biatch. But hey, Captain PYT. But the reason that I didn't, and the people are like, no, an apology don't include a but. She's like, okay, I'm sorry that I called you a biatch. And they like, wait, you just say you sorry and then just be quiet. And she's like, I'm sorry. And she's like, I don't know if I can be quiet. It was kind of funny. That's why I think sometimes she's just like playing for the TV. The next morning we see Mo. She's looked up whiplash and she determines that yes, she does have till more arrive. Oh, I'm recording for tomorrow. I mean, whatever. I don't, this is, yeah. Y'all, so she's determined that she has whiplash, and I'm still confused. She was in a car accident. We've seen her husband giving her physical therapy, and he is an athlete, so I'm sure he's gotten a lot of physical therapy, but I'm still not sure. Is he a physical therapist? Because I thought he was an athlete, like a football player or whatever. And so she didn't go to the hospital. She didn't go to the doctor. Like, why is she diagnosing herself with whiplash? Why is her husband giving her physical therapy? Like, I don't know what she's doing and why. That just doesn't seem, especially with a car accident, because stuff can be knocked. Go to the doctor, girl. Go to the doctor. Don't be diagnosing yourself off the internet. Especially because you're that traditional kind of person, Um, so then she determines that not only does she probably have whiplash, but she needs more help. She doesn't have a nanny. She's got those two children. She's got her internet page. She's got her husband. She's got her charities. So she probably needs to hire, a good 3 or 4 or 5 more people to help her. So she's not tired. Just like that 5,000 square foot house was not enough room for the 4 of them. They need 20,000 square feet. She need staff. She need help. So Shasha and Mo and Karen are having heart to heart talks, especially Shasha's like, me and Karen have heart to heart talks, especially when tipsy. And she probably told me what she was telling me, and she didn't mean to because she was a little drunk. And I had seen the end of it, so I didn't realize that this was going to come later. But I'm like, oh my gosh. So she told you something that you think that she probably didn't mean to tell you, and then you're going to go and tell it to a whole group of people and all of us in TV land. That's not very friendly, girl. That's not very friendly. Shut your daggone mouth. The women are in two cars going to their different excursions. The Beaver Creek one, I think, is the fly fishing, and that's Giselle, Mo, Shasha, and Karen. And then Ashley, not very friendly at all. Don't they say if you want to have friends, be a friend or something like that? But maybe I need to do what these people are doing and I'd have more friends. I don't know. Because it does seem like sometimes people are attracted to more like, I don't know. Sometimes like if it bleeds, it leads. Like if you were like, this is the news and here's all the good things that happened, nobody would buy the paper. But if you're like, blood all over the place and guts and gore, then the people are like, ooh, let me get that paper, let me see what's up, who killed who shot who. So maybe that's like the real key to having friends. I don't know. So Robin is like hanging out with with Candace and her. Robin is like, look, I like hanging out with Candace and her fun energy, even though my girl Giselle does not like Candace. And I'm like, I don't see who couldn't like Candy Ace. Now the whole time I was watching this episode, now I'm just like really, really confused about this whole dark skin, brown skin, light skin thing, because I can tell some of those women are very light. And then I thought that Candace was dark, and my mother is like, Candace is brown skin. So I'm so confused. I know that has nothing to do with anything. But anyway, the whole episode, I was like, and then they had Gabrielle Union, and I'm like, so is she dark? And my mother is like, no. She's like, Lupita Nyong'o is dark. And I'm like, so who else is dark? She's like, Alec Weck. And I'm like, are those the only dark? Like, she's like, the rest of them people are brown. I'm like, how can you tell? She's like, you can look at them. Can you look at people and tell? Because if I look on my thumbnails, I look all different kinds of colors. But I don't understand the whole color thing. It's very confusing to me. So Robin likes, so anyway, Karen brings up Sherman. She brings up Sherman. And Giselle is like, she doesn't have any comment. And she lets us know that until she figures out what's going on with Sherman, she don't really want to talk about it. And as I said earlier, I think that talking every hour on the hour is really too much for grown people. Like, you need to occupy your time. What are you doing? You ain't got nothing to do. That's okay. So then at the meal, Giselle loops back to why does she need to apologize, and she finds out from Shasha that Giselle has offended Ray. That Ray has let his wife know that he was offended by what Giselle has said, and so then Giselle says, well, she's going to apologize if Ray is receptive. And Karen is like, and I was kind of like, you gonna apologize if he's receptive? And Karen is like, you should apologize basically because you're wrong. That has nothing to do with his receptivity or not. And I'm like, yeah, again, woman, come on now, you gotta do the right. If somebody lets you know that you've offended them, or the wife lets you know you offended her husband, then apologize. Unless you out here trying to offend people. I mean, I don't know. And then Giselle in the interview, even though she's like, okay, I'll apologize. Then in her interview, she's like, I am not apologizing to nobody. And I was just kind of like, oh. Because I'm like, these are people that she knows in real life, and they're going to see this footage, and it just seems like, do they all know that they're playing for the camera? Or I don't know. Because I'm like, why you say you're going to apologize if you're not going to apologize? And why wouldn't you apologize if you offended your friend's husband? Girl. Okay, so then Shasha reveals that Karen agreed to set her up. She's like, Karen agreed to set me up on a date with Blue Eyes. That's Karen's driver. And we're like, oh my gosh. And then I find out this is like a commercial that came on the TV. And this is the second time I've seen the commercial that Earth, Wind, and Fire are going to be in concert August 18th. and I think I might want to go because I think Earth, Wind, and Fire probably all their songs are jams, and I've never been to it, so I think I'm going. I think I'm going to the Earth, Wind, and Fire concert. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. Karen is like, you are so full of ish when we come back from commercial. She is not setting that woman up with blue eyes. Her driver, and she already let us know that, or maybe she's coming up to let us know that the women should not be jealous because she has a driver. And the way she said driver, I'm like, what does it mean? Is it a double entendre? Okay, so then, or am I just buying into the rumor mill? So then, Giselle tells Karen that Ash is still talking about the fact that Ash's stepson saw Karen and her blue eyes cozied up at Oz. And I was kind of confused, like, why would you, if I was going to cheat, I would not go to somebody I knew, a restaurant of someone that I knew with the person I was going to cheat with. I just wouldn't, like that just seemed weird. So I don't even think they're cheating. Um, Yeah, don't be jealous because you don't have a tribe. That's Miss Karen. And then Robin and Candace are talking about Mo's drinking, how much she's been drinking. She says she had 2 martinis. They said Ashley says she had 4 martinis in the middle of the day, and then we see her finishing a bottle on the bus. And then Robin is like, "Well, do you think she has a problem?" And Ashley is like, "Well, I don't know." And then we see the groups rejoining at the ropes course. Now, I liked when they had the scenes with the women fly fishing and the scenes with the women. One group was fly fishing, and I can't remember what the other group was doing. Oh, skeet shooting or whatever. But it was cute. It was fun. I like to see them just out, doing something, different. And I liked when they did the rope course. It reminded me when I did a rope course. It was really cute because, some of the women were game for like climbing high and getting harnessed in and, doing like the scary stuff. And then 2 of the women, Giselle, Karen is like, hell to the no, I'm gonna watch. And then Giselle is like, it's not happening. And they end up going on the kiddie course. So they juxtapose these women on the kiddie course, which is like 2 feet off the ground, with the other women who are like 20 or 40 feet off the ground doing their thing. And it's really cute. And then there's this thing where, the thing is shaking, and Karen is like, look, you getting on my nerves, okay? Your type of stuff. I can see you skydiving. I don't know about skydiving. I said that the other day, but yeah, I like it was fun. It was like the adrenaline, like I don't know when I've never had it. When I told you when I finished my thesis, both times I was like, ooh, like I can do anything. And that's how I felt when I was like, I am not jumping off of that thing. And then when I jumped, I'm like, oh my gosh, I did something I thought I couldn't do. I can do anything. And that only took like 2 minutes. You know how long it took me to write them papers? Like months. So like think of the exhilaration. Captain done did it. Think of the exhilaration that you could get in 5 or 10 minutes. I don't know. But it's not the same type of long-term satisfaction of like doing, viable research, of course. We see Ashley and Robin bonding, and Robin is feeling, hopeful about her relationship with Ashley. Then we have a montage, and I'm like, what is Candace drinking from her flask? Like, I guess somebody says later on, maybe this is on Watch What Happens Live, that it's a girls' trip, and what you do on girls' trips is you get drunk. I guess since I don't drink some of that stuff, it's like hard for me to like quite get it, because I'm like, is that what you do? I thought you had fun. But I guess different people have fun in different ways. So Ashley is talking to her husband, the hubster, and she needs to put her relationship, she says she needs to put her relationship with her man first, just like her mom did all those years, like when she would just leave her. That's why she was with her grandfather, who was trying to expose her to the finer things in life, because her mama had left her for some man. So now she gotta put her man and herself ahead of her mama. Y'all, that just and I just wish they just had a whole healthier thing going on. I don't like that. We see the ladies at dinner. Ash is late because she's FaceTiming with Mike. Mo tells Candace that Candace Oh, Mo is like, girl, Candace, you shocked us with all of that. You were having a biatch moment or whatever. And Ashley is like, she was following our advice, Mo. And then Candace is like, you said maybe probably that Shasha was jealous with me because we're getting to know each other. And then Mo is like, I did not say that. And then they show footage, but the way that the footage was, when they had the actual words coming out of the person's mouth, we couldn't see whose mouth it was coming out of. And my mother is like, clearly that was Ash speaking. And I'm like, no, I think that was Mo. So I don't know. Robin is like, Mo didn't plan out that Candace and Shasha would be in the same room at the same time confronting her about stuff. She instigating over there. And then you know how sometimes you misjudge stuff and then it come together. You be like, dang, I didn't think about that. That's what had happened. So then we see Robin, and she's like, Monique, Robin and Monique, she wants to make sure. Oh, so Robin says, Monique, look, I want to make sure that you're okay because Ashley said that you had 4 martinis in 3 hours. And Ashley is like drinking and her eyes buck, and she's like, oh my God, I can't believe she brought that up. That's what happens. Girl. Okay. So then Monique looks at Ash and she's like, Monique is like, I can drink 5 martinis before I throw up. And I'm like, dang. So now we know how many things we can drink before we throw up. That's intense. Like, oh my gosh. Like, okay. So I guess she figures she drink 4, she ain't gonna throw up on the floor. She just at her 4, I guess. I don't know. But I'm like, okay. And then there's a difference between being tipsy and sleepy. And I felt sleepy before I had the accident, not tipsy. Those are two different things. And then Karen is like, you need to get a driver. I have a DUI and there is a zero tolerance in Maryland. If you blow, then you're going to blow your future. So I guess blow means like you have to blow into the thing to detect if you're drunk, which I'm surprised if she had an accident when the cops came that they did, you know what I mean? Like it seems like if there was something going on, they probably would have tested her. I don't know how that works, but anyway. So we find out that Karen has had a DUI and so she can't drive anymore. So if you can't afford to have a driver, what you do? I guess you just take public transport. I don't know what you do. And then Mo is like, I would never drive drunk. So we see Karen confronting Ash about Blue Eyes, and the others are still talking. And Ash is like, so do you and Ray have an arrangement? Like, you can let me know if you and Ray, do your thing and you have an arrangement, that's cool. And Karen is like, no, we don't. Do you and Mike have an arrangement? Because we've seen his junk all over the internet soliciting men. And Ashley is like, no one has seen my man with anybody. We have seen your man with people. And Giselle in her interview is like, aren't you supposed to go to a hotel? Why go to a restaurant that all your friends go to? And then she's like, well, maybe I should ask Mike. And I'm like, or you could ask your ex, because didn't her ex-husband, have a lot of relationships? I guess he ain't have to go to the hotel. He just went to his church office and had sex with the women, I guess. I don't know. But I'm like, she has some experience with, the cheatation a little bit. At least, that's the word on the street. She's Miss Word on the Street. So that's it for this episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I am so happy that tomorrow I'll have to get up early. I could just sleep until I get up. This is going to be done. I have my whole day in front of me. What am I going to do? I don't know. But what you need to do is have a fabulous, wonderful, until I see you again tomorrow, next time, today, whenever. Be fabulous. Be fabulous, you.